Let's look at these structures. What do you notice? What do you understand from this structure? It is 3 defenders, 1 solo midfielder, 3 midfielders ahead of the solo midfielder, 2 wide players, and a striker. This is another tactical system that Maresca used in the attacking phase of the game. Now, you can see here we have 3 defenders, 1 midfielder, 3 attackers ahead, and 2 wide players. Now, Maresca used a 3-1-6 to actually match Palmeiras' back 5. Now, this is not a new structure. This is a structure that Enzo Maresca has used when he's facing a back 5. You know, Maresca always wants that extra man in attack. That is how his team usually play. So the 3-5 when he's facing the back 4, the 3-1-6 when he's facing the back 5, always having an extra man in attack because it is a +1 in attack and a +1 in defense. Now, this is one tactic that I have not seen Enzo Maresca use quite recently, but it's a tactic that I've seen Maresca use in other games. So the question we are going to look at is, how did Maresca use this? And we are also going to try and understand why players such as Santos played actually well in this system and how Maresca was able to get the best out of the team that he actually set up. And this 3-1-6 was the structure that made Chelsea to completely dominate Palmeiras. The solo pivot who's looking to dictate play from deep, the 3 centre-backs who are playing as the safety net, while the 6 attackers who have been given the licensed freedoms. Another player who was so important in this game was Estevao. And Estevao came up against one of the most dominant left backs in the Premier League, and he actually put up a performance, and he actually even had a goal that probably would have made things difficult for Chelsea. Now, Chelsea are in the semi-finals, and they're supposed to play Fluminense, while Real Madrid are playing PSG in the semi-finals. So now the game is getting tougher and tougher for Chelsea, and Chelsea will really need to pull up their socks on Tuesday to make it to the final. Before we even start this analysis, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. We begin. Now, we are going to do an in-depth tactical analysis of Chelsea 2 Palmeiras 1. We're going to understand what tactics did Enzo Maresca use, how did he set up his players, and what we are actually going to see are they tactics that Chelsea may use next season. Let's see. Now, the reason why Maresca used a 3-1-3-3 in attack is because he wanted to have numerical superiority. And where in particular, at the back line. Because you see, when Chelsea have 6 men against this back 5, they always have an extra man in attack. And they achieved this by pushing Gusto in that high right attacking midfielder role. Now, because Chelsea had committed so many players in attack, Palmeiras did not commit so many players to pressing Chelsea. And whenever they did so, they left themselves quite vulnerable, because now if they committed many players, then Chelsea could play the ball to the attackers, and now Chelsea would move from a position where they are attacking few number of players to now attacking with more number of players. Because of Chelsea having too many players in between the lines, Palmeiras had to drop their 3 midfielders to cover the likes of Palma, Fernandes, and Malo Gusto. With sometimes now, this constant overload in zone 14 made Palmeiras to play quite narrow, and this narrow structure allowed Chelsea space in the wide areas. Chelsea even went ahead to push Cucurella so wide and high up in a way that he played like a left back. And in these areas, Cucurella will receive the ball, drag the wing back out of position, and have a player like Fernandes looking to make that run in that space vacated. But most in particular was the role that Malo Gusto played, because none actually expected Gusto here. And Gusto's position created a problem for the midfielder, who was now unable to know whether he should cover Chalobah, or he should cover Gusto because of that 2v1 overload. And this is what allowed Chalobah the space to create the first goal. So if the midfielder is drawn to press Chalobah, then Gusto stretches out wide. And if the midfielder is actually trying to cover Gusto, then Chalobah is able to carry the ball forward. And we saw Chalobah doing this time and time again, finding Palma, who would easily play the ball to Pedro Neto and actually put Chelsea in a position where they have moved from a defensive point of view to attack. The position of Malo Gusto was so important that you notice that Chalobah time and time again would carry the ball forward. And Chalobah's ability to carry the ball forward and Gusto's movement made it easy for Chalobah to draw in midfielders to himself and actually find the ability to pass the ball to Palma. Chalobah draws a midfielder, passes the ball to Palma, Palma receives the ball, Palma uses his skill to actually beat two defenders and he slots the ball home. But where did this come from? This came from the way Maresca used Gusto as a right attacking midfielder, because if Gusto is stretching out, then Chalobah has space. Now defensively, Chelsea were pressing with what we call a 3-3-1-3, meaning that they were pushing their fullback Gusto in field so that they are able to maximize the numbers in midfield. And why was this so? Because Palmeiras were building with a 5-3-2. Having three defenders was enough to cover them, allowing one fullback to enter in midfield so that they can commit Malo Gusto to press a wingback. And this made Palmeiras to go long, where Chalobah and Colwill were able to win those balls, and even sometimes Robert Sanchez will step out and actually receive the ball. And immediately Chelsea will receive the ball, they will look to play the ball to the wide areas, especially to players such as Neto. Now, Neto was so crucial for Chelsea in this game because Neto will be able to receive the ball under pressure, not under pressure, where an isolated wingback where Neto fancied himself. Now, when Palmeiras had the ball, they moved into that box midfield structure by using their wingbacks to generate the width and allowing players like Estevao to operate in a much freer role. Now, Estevao was so important because Estevao would drop in midfield to receive the ball and look to play the ball towards the wingback. And sometimes this would even position him in the left half space to receive a cutback where he would attempt a shot on goal or look to actually cross the ball to the far post area. Lucky enough for Chelsea is that Sanchez claimed majority of those crosses, and even Palmeiras had an opportunity to score, but they couldn't. Now, when Chelsea had the ball, when the two wide centre backs were being covered in the second half, Colwill was the one who was stepping out with the ball, looking to play the ball towards Pedro Neto, and Neto looking to square the ball towards Cole Palmer. The main idea was to have Cole Palmer receive the ball in the half spaces, and then you have players such as Enzo Fernandez looking to make those runs in the far post area. Now, because of this, we also noticed an incredible structure when Chelsea were looking to build up, and that was the 4-2-2-2, with Chelsea looking to isolate Palmeiras centre-backs 1v1 with Liam Delap, and that's why we saw Liam Delap actually get a yellow card, because Chelsea were trying to commit a lot of players high up and trying to use Delap's ability to hold the ball to actually progress. And sometimes Delap was able to do this, sometimes we saw Delap struggling to hold up the ball. But the idea was to play the ball into Delap's feet, then having Delap play the ball to Cole Palmer, then having Cole Palmer to play the ball onto Neto, as well as playing the ball onto the left winger or Fernandez making those runs. So Maresca managed to come up with an incredible tactical system, that is the 3-1-6, to actually get a crucial win. And I've explained to you the 3-1-6 and how Maresca has used it before. If you are new in this channel, again, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you are looking for any communication from me, you can reach me through the comment section or reach me through the social media handles in the description area below. Once again, thanks very much. Hope to see you in our next video. See you again. Thank you and have a great day.